we on? I guess we're on. I don't want to, okay, Donald Trump jokes. The microphone is hot. Good morning, everyone. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes of the last meeting? It's unanimous. With one abstention. The quarterly review presentation by Amy Slivka of the status of what kind of cases have been coming before us that are marked as ECB cases by law.
Okay, good morning. As most of you are aware, the quarterly report, provides what's going on with ECB type cases coming to the hearings division. Specifically, we're going to look at the summons received for the third quarter of 2016, and then a comparison of the 2015-2016 third quarter decisions rendered, summonses received, and summonses heard. We're also going to look at the percentage of in violation versus dismissed for each agency, and we actually are doing a quarterly comparison because Con had requested that, and he's not here today. And we're going to look at most commonly issued summonses by agency, and lastly, the number of appeals by agency. So as you can see, that the summons received has decreased for DSNY by 8%, and for DOB it's increased 3%. DOT 18% decrease, FDNY 9% decrease, DEP an 8% increase, and Department of Health 34% increase. For parks, there's been a 1% decrease, and NYPD has been a 13% decrease, due to 47% decrease, VIC 51% decrease, and landmarks a 4% increase. Comparing the third quarter of 2015 to the third quarter of 2016 of summonses received, we see a 25% increase for sanitation. For buildings is a 43% increase. For health, a 16% increase. For the fire department, a 10% increase. For DOT, a 94% increase. For DEP, 7% increase. For NYPD, a 47% increase. For parks, a decrease of 5%, and for DeWitt, a decrease of 85%, 314 to 47, decrease. And for Beck, ran 450% increase, 2 to 11. And for landmarks, there's been a decrease of 57%, and overall, there's a 27.5 increase from the third quarter of 2015 to the third quarter of 2016. As far as summonses are heard, for sanitation, the difference comparison is a 14% increase for sanitation. There's been a decrease of 34% for DOT, 16% increase for buildings, 12% increase of fire. For health, a 23% increase, and for NYPD, a 21% increase. DEP, there's a decrease of 3%, and parks, a decrease of 13%, DeWitt, a 51% decrease, and Beck, an 800% increase from 2 to 18. And overall, there's been an 8.3% increase.
I think that there's something, the numbers that you're reading don't seem to match up with what's on the screen.
Did I do the wrong?
Yeah.
Summons heard, no, total summons heard.
What you were saying.
17,672 to 18,683 was a 6% increase. Buildings, 1,866 to 15,202, 54% increase. Health, 4,058 to 4,842 is a 19% increase. Did I do something wrong? 4,374 to 4,824 is a 10% increase.
No, you're
So,
no, it's
okay?
Now you're
Okay.
right.
Did I
I think you
say
might have
them?
been off pages or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe that was it. All right, sorry. Yes.
Shalonda Graham, Department of Buildings. So the cases heard, these are actual cases where the respondents, hearing officers.
Correct.
Okay.
They're hearings.
Okay.
Okay, let's make sure I have the right. Okay. So, okay. I see what you're saying. I
Maybe
had
the
the
slide.
wrong, yeah, all right.
Order.
Okay, so let's just see. Those numbers here we go. Okay, so, you're right. Okay, so for hearings, decisions rendered, okay, and now the comparison of third quarter to 15 to third quarter 16. There's been a 25% increase in DSNY, right, we got that? 43% increase for DOB, 16% increase for health, 10% increase for fire, 94% increase for DOT, 7% increase for parks, 47% increase for NYPD. I got parks and DEP incorrect. Okay, so for DEP, there's a 7% increase, for parks, there's a 5% decrease. For DeWitt, there was an 85% decrease, and for Vic, there was a 450% increase, and for landmarks, a decrease of 57%. Overall, there's a 27.5% increase for decisions rendered. Okay. So basically, yeah.
Does anybody know what's happening at DeWitt?
So why they're not issuing that
Yeah,
many
like that.
summons, I don't know. I mean, maybe it has to do with the fact that they're, I really don't know. I don't know if they're monitoring the phone booths or not monitoring. I know they're putting in these electrical things for.
They are, so that's probably it.
Yeah,
Fine.
so they might be more involved with
Changing
doing
their
that, changing all their
manpower.
technology.
Sorry,
and
Ernest
such.
Cavallo, citizen member.
So, but that could be what it's about. And overall, we're completing 98% of our decisions in less than 20 days.
One of the questions, Shimada Graham, DOB. The amount of cases that were heard for DOB is 50,000, and decisions rendered is 9,000, and I'm just estimating, it's 9,000. So if decisions are being rendered less than 10 days, what?
Well, less than 20 days.
Well,
Well,
10 or
10
20,
to 20, yeah.
but it wouldn't put it into the next quarter, so my question is.
Well, it actually could, because the end of the month of the second quarter can go
Mhm.
into the beginning of the month of the third
Okay.
quarter.
But
So-
would it impact so much so that we would be 7,000 decisions off?
It could.
Is that possible?
It is possible,
So-
depending on the types of violations.
Okay, so
and
can
such,
you
yeah.
just look at that and just, maybe give me some feedback on why that number is so different? The amount that decisions that were heard versus the decisions rendered? If the case is heard versus decisions rendered.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So, decisions after the hearing. So we did a third quarter of 2015 comparison with the third quarter of 2016 comparison. As I said, Tom had asked for this. So as you can see, in 2016, you had a total in violation of 52.6% and a total dismissed of 46.9%. Interesting, in 2015, you had a 56.2% in violation and a 43.1% dismissal rate. So it's not, it's pretty much the same. So for Department of Sanitation, you can see the comparison. In 2015, there was a 63% in violation rate, 37% dismissal. And in 2016, it's a 72% in violation. 72% dismissal rate, 28% in violation rate. For buildings, you have in 15 an 81% in violation, and in 2016, you have an 80% in violations, pretty close. For DOT, you had a 58% in violation, and in 2016, you had a 62% in violation.
Maybe just out of curiosity, the dismissal rate, especially for sanitation, does that include all that big withdrawal prosecution that we have to do for finance?
No, because those
It's
were
not-
withdrawal
Those are withdrawal, so they don't
prosecutions,
appear in that.
they're not
Okay.
appearing in here, so.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Madeline LaVar, sanitation.
So for FDNY, was at 89% in violation in 2015 and 90% in violation in 2016. For DP, an 80% in violation rate and an 82% in violation in 2016. Just in these high, just to mention, in these high in violation rates, there's usually a petitioner representative present in those cases. For NYPD, you see a 48% in violation rate in 2015 and 45% in violation rate in 2016. So for health, it's pretty much, it's the same, interestingly enough. So it's 59% in violation rate in 2015 and a 59% in violation rate in 2016. For parks, 51% in violation rate in 2015, 49% in violation rate in 2015. DeWitt, a 41% in violation rate in 2015, and a 74% in violation rate, dismissal rate. So their in violation rate went down to 26%. I can't speak to that, I really don't know why that happened. They might not have had representation of the terms or whatever. For BIC, it's 50-50 in 2015, and then in 2016, it was 55% in violation. And for landmarks, it's 100% in violation in both years. So, just so you know. So the most commonly issued has pretty much stayed the same from last quarter to this quarter, kind of does stay the same from year to year. Use or opening on the street without a permit. For DOT, failure to comply with the terms and conditions of the permit, and failure to permanently restore your cut. For NYPD, it's the right-of-way, the failure to yield law, and it's vending in a bus stop, and it's failure to display your license or plate. These are going to be violations.
Questioners, follow citizen member, the NYPD right-of-way failure to yield, that's new, isn't it?
Yeah,
On top?
it's new that it's on top. I think they got, it went up a little bit this summer, and it's relatively, it's kind of new.
I think
Yeah.
from a citizen point of view, that's really good that they are enforcing that.
Yeah.
I think the mayor's zero policy on pedestrian injury and death is really important, and this shows that the police department's taking it seriously.
Agreed. And for the DOB, it's failure to comply with commissioner's order, work without a permit, and unlawful acts failure to comply with the order of the commissioner. DSNY is failure to clean 18 inches to the street, dirty sidewalk area, and storage of acceptables. So, DP, failure to split your annual test flow, failure to install backflow, and failure to keep or have available your inspection and noise mitigation plan. FBMY, it's inspection and testing, fire protection systems, unnecessary alarms, certificate of fitness and certificate of qualifications, not having them. DOHMH, failure to eliminate rodent infestation, shown by active rodent signs. First condition, failure to eliminate conditions conducive to rodent, first violation, and failure to eliminate conditions conducive to pest garbage because they don't repeat storage from cans and such. And landmarks, it's work without a permit or certificate of approval. These are just different types, and miscellaneous violations, and putting up a flag, sign, or banner without approval. For Do It, it's failure to provide working public payphone, required signage initiatives, missing, and maintain your public payphone, telephone area. For Parks, it's failure to comply with directives of the park officer, unauthorized consumption and possession of alcohol, and unauthorized vending. And for BIC, it's idling motor vehicles, failure to register your wholesale business, and failure to obtain identification cards. And as far as appeals goes, you can see DOB, there's been 170 by the enforcement agency, the SNY also 170, FDNY 52, Health 69, DEP 23, DOT 56, NYPD 29, Parks 12, miscellaneous 1, and a total of 582.
Those appeals by both the petition.
Those are
and the
appeals by the enforcement agency.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Any further questions? Okay, great, thanks. Oh, percentage of defaults, one more. Okay, so DSNY is 70.4%, Department of Transportation 9.2%, Health 5.9%, and Building 5.5%, so it's a total of 81,406 for the
Wow,
six.
the bolts on sanitation.
Yes. Thank you.
DEP has requests for cease and desist order. By the way, I got a great explanation on the back floor protectors list.
Do a presentation. That need advance notice.
That sounds like a good idea.
Russell Pecunis, Assistant Counsel, Department of Environmental Protection.
Good morning. This month, the DEP has 28 requests for cease and desist orders relating to failure to install backflow prevention devices. In each of these cases, the commissioner has determined that a backflow prevention device is required. The building owner has been ordered to install it. They have been given a summons for failing to comply with that notice, and they have been found in violation pursuant to that summons and are still not in compliance. So in each of these 28 cases, the department is asking the board to issue an order to cease and desist.
Any questions? Is there a motion? It's unanimous with one abstention.
Thank you. And the department is also requesting a cease and desist order this month under the noise code. The respondent is the Preschool of the Arts, which is located at 40 West 22nd Street. They have been cited on 4 occasions for noise from their air conditioning unit. Most recently, just earlier this month. Due to the repeated violations of the noise code from this piece of equipment and the continuing failure to come into compliance, DEP is asking the board to issue an order to cease and desist.
Questions? Is there a motion? Granted. I suspect that you won't have any trouble telling them to shut down the AC right now.
That's why the violations are sort of scattered. It's a seasonal, I think it's a seasonal problem. Yeah,
Is that it?
that's it.
How about precinct reports? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. We have Kelly Corso, Assistant Director for Education, Service Division Oak. We have 17 pre-sealing reports for the board this morning. 7 of these cases involve backflow violations and 10 involve air code violations. For the backflow violations, in 6 of the cases, the hearing officers recommend no sealing or other action based on the evidence of the respondent's compliance that was presented at the hearings. In the remaining backflow case, the respondent did not appear at the hearing. However, the hearing officer has agreed with the DEP's recommendation that the C&D order be discontinued because it's duplicative of a C&D order, a different C&D order which is scheduled for a hearing on November 1st. And with the air code cases, 2 of these cases, the hearing officers recommend no further action based on the respondent's proof presented at the hearings that the respondents have obtained valid operating certificates for their cited boiler or burners. And in the remaining 8 air code cases, the respondents did not appear at the hearings. However, the hearing officers agreed with DEP's recommendation that the C&D orders be discontinued for these cases because the respondents have obtained renewed operating certificates, bringing them into compliance with the air code.
Any questions? Is there a motion to approve? And it's unanimous. Don't accept exemption. Is there a motion for us to retire to executive session in order to discuss judicial matters? Unanimous. For executive session, evacuees have evacuated. Kelly, motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you for Dave's report. Thank you for the report. No, this is.